Nature is unforgiving, says the tagline for this POV-driven slasher in a violent nature that sees a killer be resurrected and follows him as he goes on a killing rampage. We don't really stay as much in the actual POV of this killer as we would have liked to. So, Lachlan, we were both quite keen for this quite experimental movie where we switch roles, switch perspectives, where we are seeing the world through the killer's eyes. Did you feel that, or was it just kind of lost itself in its concept a bit?
I think that it has a fantastic idea going for it, and I think that the killer that they create is a fantastic addition to the lineup. I think that it could go head to head with Michael, Freddy, Jason, the likes of that Hall of Fame of creepy and terrible people, or demons. And I think that they unfortunately stumble and fall a little bit, and they cause this really cool concept to just fall from grace. I think that it is a really interesting idea. When you restrict yourself, you have to make up for it in other departments. And when you only do it from the perspective of the killer, which they do leave the perspective occasionally, and that is for exposition, that is for backstory, and that is very much necessary, you then are left having to essentially make up for it. And in this film, when you're leaving that perspective, you have to build tension. That's the best part, where you could build tension. And this film should build tension because you can, you're watching it happen live. And unfortunately, it never, ever does it. Like, there's never tension, ever. It goes for the gore factor, the crazy kills, which are the highlight. And unfortunately, the suspense that you're looking for just isn't there, and that unfortunately really sucks to say. For me, whilst there's no suspense, I think that there are really fun kills. I think that the film is actually really stunning to look at. I was just amazed with the cinematography, which this is shot on a Canon C70. You can see some behind the scenes shots, and that's a consumer camera. Well, it's a cinema camera, but as a consumer, you can buy that camera. It's not too far in the depths of having to refinance your entire house to buy that, right? And I think that for a film that's shot on a camera like that to be as stunning is just a testament to say, hey, yeah, sure, they shot the creator on consumer-based cameras. That's cool. But to see things like this happen, it's like, no, you can make some really pretty stuff without having a budget of a couple $100 million.
Yeah, on a concept level, I'm rooting for this film quite a bit. But like you say, there's moments where the exposition takes the forefront over the style that they're going for, and that ultimately is a bit to its detriment. But the kills themselves, if you are like someone who really enjoys to see good prosthetic work and violent kills, then you're in for a treat. But it feels weird saying that, because like they're so brutal and there's nothing to it, because we don't get anything on a narrative level of rooting for these other guys. We just get the exposition that they're like raunchy, dumb teenagers, or young adults that then are just there to be killed, on a narrative sense. You can do that, but then I would take a step back on just focusing on the killer a bit more by not choosing a one set path, apart from, I guess, some, like, especially on the C70, getting such impressive shots and beautiful looking shots of nature as well. Like, for that alone, I think it is impressive. And if it's done, I think it was done pretty much on a smaller budget. Horror films tend to make their return. We said that on the podcast as well, or you said that like, you're really happy this movie exists. That something like this exists is a cool thing overall, and I agree. Although, I wasn't really roped in by the narrative as much as it could have been. It feels like we're basically, in a roundabout way, we're just saying there was potential left on the table. And yeah, that's basically it. I gave it a 3 out of 5.
I'm giving it a 2.5.
Oh, okay. He's a bit lower. He's a bit more critical. Don't go taking necklaces out of the
burnt down fire watches.
Yep, not a good idea overall. Just in general, I'd say don't do that. But what I can recommend is you go check out the podcast. Let us know what you thought of it, and maybe some other great horror films that we should check out this year that we haven't caught yet. But we'll see you soon.
Bye.